Hello, I'm Diane. I believe that you can't always judge situations too quickly. My daughter, Ashley, was divorced, had 3 boys, and she was a painter, an interior painter. That's how she made her living for her 3 boys. And she would look at me as an example, who was a seamstress, had a business that sold curtains, etc., had no retirement. I did have insurance, but she was thinking about herself and her situation. She didn't want to get remarried. That was not even in the picture. She just wanted to live her life with her 3 boys and be happy and blah, blah, blah. So she decided she needed a profession so that she could have insurance, so that she could have a retirement and not end up like me, working forever into old age. So she decided to go back to school. And she decided on medical transcribing. Now, Ashley is a shy, unassuming, beautiful blonde girl. She is beautiful. She's the kindest, most wonderful person you'd ever want to meet. But she was basically like me, an introvert. Rocked no boats anywhere. So she was worried about achieving this. She had 3 older siblings. No, they weren't older. She had 3 siblings that were professionals. They had gone to school, finished school, and they were professionals. And she always felt inferior to her other siblings. But she decided to give this a try for the sake of her boys. So she went back to school. She had already finished 2 years when she got out of high school. So she was ready to go into this career. So she would paint houses during the day, and at night she would go to school. She called me many, many times crying at night. I can't do this, Mom. It's too hard. I just can't do this, Mom. I would encourage her. I wanted to tell her, just stop and go to bed, honey. But I couldn't do that. I mean, she had invested so much into this. I'd try to encourage her. I didn't know what she was talking about. I had no idea about the profession, so I couldn't advise her or help her. And I said, you'll make it, darling. Just keep pushing. Well, she did. She pushed and she pushed and she made it. She finished. Well, there was one test that she had to, I guess it was a state test, to pass and get her license. So she left 1 week vacant, no painting. She was going to stay home and study that whole week before the test on Friday. Well, her father, which is actually her stepfather, was put in ICU that week, and she ended up staying at the hospital all week with her other siblings to be with him. And finally he was okay and, got out of the hospital. But she'd spent the whole week at the hospital and had really not got to study. But the test was on Friday. She had to travel out of town to take it. And she told her youngest son, Kurt, as soon as I know something, I will call you at school and let you know. So she went in. She was so nervous, so nervous. She just knew she wasn't going to pass it. She went in, took the test, and others would get through and take theirs to the front. and the person would grade the test there and tell them if they had passed or not. So she finally finished it. She said I was just shaking, wanted to throw up. So she went up there and handed her the paper. The lady looked it over, all the pages, and wrote passed across the top. And she said, you passed. So, I mean, she was on cloud nine. She went out the door and just burst into tears. All of this pressure and worry and all this. So the first person she called was Kurt, who was at school waiting on her. So she called him and she said, I passed, Kurt. And he said, I knew you would, Mom. I'm going to take you out to dinner and I'm paying. And she said, okay. So she came back to our hometown and she picked up Kurt at school, and they actually went by to see an aunt who was, and she was my cousin, but she was dying with cancer, so they went by to see her as well. But anyway, that was on Friday. On Sunday, Kurt was killed by a drunk driver. Now, if that's not cruel irony, I don't know what is. She was devastated. She started regretting going back to school, spending that time. It took her 2 years. She could have been with her boys. Instead, she was doing something that she thought was for her boys, to make life better for them. Anyway, she went months struggling, wondering what to do. She had her license. She could have tried to get a job, but she couldn't concentrate. When you lose a child, you lose the ability to concentrate. And that's a fact. For a long time. Well, that's when she started thinking about her nonprofit. You know, helping children with clothes and shoes. And of course, if you've listened to my videos, you know that it just grew and grew and grew. Well, she started being asked to speak, like at churches or, you know, gatherings, events. Well, she didn't want to turn it down because she was trying to get her nonprofit to go in really, really well. So she had to accept. Now, this is a child that in school, she was so afraid a teacher was going to call on her and she'd have to speak out loud. I mean, she was shy. She was terribly shy. Now, here she is speaking at engagements. Yeah, she cried through part of it. How could you not? But that was 8.5 years ago, and she still does public speaking. She doesn't even make notes anymore. People ask her to speak. She just goes and speaks. So that cruel irony actually boosted her confidence in being who she is and finishing out her life the way she's supposed to. Because I do believe that her nonprofit is what she's supposed to be doing. It's a beautiful place. I'm still going to take you there. And the weather's getting cool, so it will be soon. Anyway, I wanted to tell you this about her. In 2023, my state of Alabama, I might cry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They named my daughter Woman of the Year in my state. I mean, we live in North Alabama. My capital of my state is in South Alabama. How did they know about her? How did they find out about her? And who voted for her? How did that happen? I can go back and see that shy little girl in high school. And if I could have said to her, one day, Alabama will name you Woman of the Year, it would have been, gosh, I'm sorry. It would have been an impossibility to even try to believe. But you just never know what life's going to bring you. And you can't judge everything too critically that happens to you. God makes ways, and you know He makes beauty from ashes, right? That should be her motto. Beauty from ashes. Because she's been through the fire for sure. Anyway, I didn't mean to cry. I just wanted to tell you not to judge things too harshly. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. I'm going to go. I'll see you next time. Love's coming your way.